Throughout these last 2 months since being laid off and being in the job market, the one thing that I've come to realize is I actually cannot stand for anyone who complains about their job, who complains about having to go to work, anything like that, like whether it be on social media or just like people I hear talking. Like, I literally refuse to feel bad. That may sound so bitchy, but like in this economy, in this job market, at least you have a job. You have a guaranteed source of income. Most people have benefits or insurance if you're of age and you need that. Most companies should be providing that. I think employment is one of the number one things that people take for granted. I'm guilty of it too. Like, I can confidently say the next job I get, I will never take for granted being employed ever again, because the anxiety that comes with not having a job, constantly facing rejection after interviews. I've gone through 2 interview processes so far, made it to the final round of interviews, and gotten rejected. I would not wish this anxiety, this depression upon my worst enemy. It is horrible. I couldn't imagine if I had a family to provide for. Thankfully, it's just me and my fiance, and I'm 23 years old, and I know I'll find a job, but like, I could not imagine being unemployed and like having to provide for other people. So when I hear people complaining about their jobs, I just simply do not feel bad. Like, if you are that unhappy, truly, if you are that unhappy in your job, go find a new one. But my biggest piece of advice is never quit a job without having something else lined up. I feel like I see all the time on social media people quitting their jobs because they're so unhappy in their job and they just assume that they can easily get a new one somewhere else. Not in this job market, babes. And I also just like can't help but like not feel bad because I'm like, you chose that job. You applied. Like, so many people who are unemployed right now, and it's just, they would probably give anything to have a job offer in their hand. But like, so I don't know. That's just my 2 cents, if anyone cares.
What's funny to me is that like people will see, like, for example, I'm not just talking about me, but let's use me as an example. Like, they'll see my car, anyone driving on the highway, you know, anyone who doesn't know me, or even people that might know me or think they know me or whatever, will be like, wow, what a nice car. Like, I bet she just is so successful. Or they'll see my house, you know, people drive past and stop by my house a lot, and it's very flattering because we meticulously designed this house, and I'm very proud of it in some aspects, but we're months away from losing our house if I don't get a job. And I'm months away from losing my car if I don't get a job. So it's just like, you should never like envy anyone else's situation because you don't know. You don't understand it fully. And I'm using mine. Mine is a more extreme situation. Like, yeah, I made really good money and then I was laid off and now I make nothing. And my partner, he still makes pretty decent money, but still, like, we have very expensive bills, and it's just, it's like, we're trying to figure it out right now, and I'm not like super worried about it. Like, I'll either get a job or multiple jobs. I just don't really want to go back to doing that, or we'll sell our house, take a loss, and downsize, which I'm totally fine with. Even if I did have a job, I would probably be totally fine with that, because I'm just so sick of like looking over my shoulder, worrying about the fact that I may or may not keep this corporate job that I probably don't even like having in the first place, just so I can like have the money or whatever. Anyway, I'm just saying, my moral of the story is that, like, you don't really fully understand. I grew up and saw all these people around me having like big houses, fancy cars, all of these things, and I was so envious of them. And I was like, if I can just get here, then I'll be like them. If I can just get that, you know, that degree, that job, that whatever. Like, bullshit. They're either up to their ears in debt, trying to keep up with everybody else, or they actually, you know, most of the people that you will meet that are successful and rich are humble as fuck, and they dress like hobos, and they conserve their money. They're smart with their money. Or I've met people who just buy everything in cash. Otherwise, they are in debt out of their ass. I mean, there's no way around it. I mean, like, yeah, there are successful people. There are rich people, you know, maybe that's family money, whatever it is. I don't know. But all I'm saying is there's always more to the story. And I just don't want anybody to feel like they're less than because they have less. Materialistically, like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
What people have told me since I've gotten laid off: apply for unemployment immediately. I'm so sorry to hear that. Is there anything I can do for you? Take this time to rest and relax. enjoy fun employment, go on dates, explore new hobbies and interests. How the hell do you get laid off? Some people thought I was joking that I got laid off and didn't believe me. And then I was like, no, I'm serious. And then they were so shocked. My mom really hit me up with the, hey, all my ajumas at church, they pray at 5:30 in the morning every day. Can they pray for you? And I was like, heck yeah. Give me the power of God and old ladies on my side to get me a job. And other people, I'm just in their thoughts. They feel for me. Someone also ended up making my layoff all about them and how I don't talk to them about like things that are going on in my life. I have plenty going on in my life right now. Like, got 9 weeks of severance. Some people said, oh my God, that's so much time. Like, you're good. Others said that 9 weeks of severance is not a lot at all. You'll bounce back real quick. Are you gonna take this time to travel? Other people offered me their workspaces and offices to help me, have a place to work and apply for jobs. The same person that told me how the hell did I get laid off also said that beggars can't be choosers. My roommates offered their condolences, and one of them actually made extra batches of food for me, which was a really nice thought. I didn't realize people had so many thoughts and opinions about my getting laid off. But thank you to my friends, the real ones that have been nothing but supportive and there for me this entire time. And it's only been 3 days.
So I'm not usually one to come on here and talk too much about my life or what's been going on, but I just hit a year and a month of unemployment, and I had a second round job interview this morning, and honestly, I don't know how much more of this I can take. Thousands of applications, resume tailoring, doing anything and everything I can do, sitting here talking to job coaches and other people that don't have a fucking clue. It's awful. The beginning description of hell needs to start with a applied to a job in 2024, 25 and beyond, because I don't really see this getting any better. All the recruiters that come on here and say, oh yeah, just tailor your resume, try a different this, try a different that. I don't even think that's making a difference at this point. Between AI and the applicant tracking systems that they insist don't rule people out, but I mean, literally that's what it's for. It's to put people in categories, and if the person doing the recruiting doesn't know what to put in or how exactly it should work, it's not going to. You're not getting the job. It doesn't matter how much tailoring you do if the person on the other end isn't actually looking at resumes, regardless. So I did this interview. This is the second weird interview in a row that I've had. And I say weird, but this not even with the same company. So I had a weird interview with somebody 2 weeks ago where they were just reading interview questions off a script. I was trying to have like a conversation with them, and they were literally just like, and what can you tell me about the responsibilities that you've had and the scope of your roles in the past that answer this question? And it was robotic, and it was awful. And anytime I tried to make that person act like a person, they didn't. So that happened again earlier today, but I walked into a 4-person group interview, which I knew it was going to be a meet the team type of thing, but I didn't know how many people were going to be there. And we were sitting around a conference table, and it was the 4 of them on one side and then me. But they weren't all in a row. It was like 2 and then 2 on either end. So every time somebody's asking a question, I'm trying to figure out who I'm talking to and what I'm doing, and I'm trying to be like a person and make a joke or two, or just be personable and talk to them. And 1 out of 4 of those people actually had a personality. And I don't really know what to do with that. The job market is hard enough without finally getting an interview and then meeting a bunch of people and nobody has a clue. And again, they were reading questions off of scripts. Like, I get, write your questions down. They were taking notes on my resume. They were answering, like, asking questions as the back page of, like, things they thought of beforehand to ask me. One of them even had to write down the question, why are you looking for a new role? And it's like, if you actually read my resume, you would realize I haven't been working over the last million years at this point. And I don't know, maybe I've grown accustomed to eating and paying bills, unfortunately. So for anybody who's searching for jobs out there, it's probably not you. From what I've read, 40% of jobs posted are fake, and the real unemployment rate is closer to 24%. I've also seen a bunch of posts from other people across the world, and a lot of other countries right now aren't doing very well. In the US, of course, you have to add all these federal layoffs and all the layoffs that happened prior to all the tariffs that were maybe or potentially going to be enacted. And then you also have to add all the tech industries that were laying off thousands and thousands of people at the same time over the last year. And I don't think anybody who's not in this search really has any clue or wherewithal to comprehend how crazy this is. But as somebody who is definitely labeled a job jumper and has been applying and looking for jobs pretty much consistently since I graduated college in 2010, this is the worst I've ever dealt with. This is like the third layoff I've dealt with since 2020. I keep having to tell people I didn't leave the jobs because I wanted to. I've worked for a lot of startups and small businesses, and it tends to be volatile. This was contracted. This wasn't fully funded. And then, of course, nobody acts like they want a real answer to anything. And it's so disheartening because it's all bullshit. And I'm tired, and it's not worth it. And I don't know about anybody else right now, but I need a solid win in my life. A solid win. So, with that being said, thank you for listening to my rant. If anybody actually made it this far, cheers.
I'm in my looking for jobs era. Why? It's on a TikTok. But one of the things that really amazed me is how out of touch with reality are the employers these days. Like, you have these conversations with these motherfuckers and you're like, be fucking for real. I'm having this conversation with this woman and she's like, well, you're great, you're perfect, everything good, everything awesome. However, I need to know if you know how to work. So the best way to know if you know how to work is for you to come to work for me for 6-7 months, getting paid $17 an hour, 17. And then after I know how you work, and after I know if you can handle the work, then we can talk about giving you more money. You're so out of touch with reality. Be fucking for real. I'm working for you. I'm working for you. It doesn't matter if I'm handling right or wrong. I am doing the job. So why would you don't pay me the amount of money that I deserve now? Well, I'm waiting to prove myself to you for 6 fucking months. How am I gonna pay the fucking bills? Be fucking for real. Be fucking for real. Another one is like, my favorite part about you is that you have no kids. Exactly. Because people be coming late. You know, the kids, you never know. You never know with kids. You never know if they're gonna get sick. You never know. I need somebody that I know. So you are my favorite candidate right now just because you have no kids. Be fucking for real. You're so out of touch with reality. The thing with these employers that are so out of touch with reality is that they have their employees, Susan, John, and Bernice, and why not Miranda? They've been there for 20, 15, 12, 5 years. So those motherfuckers already know what's up, already know what it is. They don't say nothing, they don't do much. They basically just basically let this motherfucker get away with murder. So that's why you talk to them and you're like, fuck? Like, what the fuck? Of course, they are out of touch of reality because the people that work with them is out of touch of reality. And that's it. I'm done.
Life update. I'm annoyed. That's pretty much the update at the moment. What about you? What are you annoyed about? I'll go first. Let's see. Unemployment. That's the first thing I'm really annoyed about right now. My husband got laid off on January 31st, and I think it took us like 2.5 to 3, I don't know, even 4 weeks to even get our first paycheck, and it barely paid anything. I think it paid maybe a fourth of what he was making, which really sucks considering you think about the fact that you pay into that for years and years and years, and you see none of it, like literally none of it. So yeah, that's the first thing I'm really annoyed about. Mass following. Yeah. I got to 2,400-ish followers, and I swear I'm following as many people as I can, and nothing. I know that I have more followers than following, but that's because I lost a few in there, and there's a few that I'm not following back for, certain reasons. But, yeah, I just can't get any traction. I'm not trying to be a whiny baby. It's just kind of how things are going right now, and I wouldn't care that much if I couldn't, didn't need to make a little bit off of the TikTok shop. Somebody just walked by and I'm trying not to like freak out about that. So fun stuff. Reputation hasn't landed yet, and we could really use Reputation. Tay, take your time. We get it. You do you, boo, but we could need it. We need it. The political climate. Don't even get me started on that. I'm just annoyed all the freaking time about that. So yeah. The luteal phase. That's the other thing I'm mad about. That's probably the whole reason why I'm just annoyed in general, the luteal phase. So yeah, if you're annoyed, put it in the comments. We can, be annoyed together. The 200-ish of you that will see this. I value you. I appreciate you. Put it in the comments. We can just kind of have a little rant phase together and maybe move on and feel better tomorrow. So anyways, see you later. I'm going to sit out here for my daughter's dance class and drive back to the woods. So see you later. Bye.
I got laid off 2 months ago, and I realized that I haven't really explained what happened or how I lost my job. Most of you know that right now I'm trying to launch my own business and do my own thing, but there's obviously a reason for that and a story behind that. Basically, for the last 5 years, I've been working for the same startup doing growth marketing and social media. The company that I was working for ran out of money and was not able to continue operations and pay their employees. It's also been such a blessing in disguise. Seriously, if I had not lost my job, I would never have had the time to start posting on TikTok all day long, posting 5 to 10 videos a day. I would never have come up with the idea to start the Inner Circle and launch a singles community in New York. Everything that's going on right now is because I got laid off. So I'm grateful in that way. And I'm such a strong believer that everything happens for a reason. And I'm just so excited for what's to come. And I'm trying to be a female entrepreneur and make it work on my own. I'm not making any money right now, but it's really what I want to do and what I'm passionate about. And we're going to see if I can make it. I got laid off 2 months ago and wanted to talk about how difficult of an experience I had trying to get unemployment. I guess in the state of New York, unemployment is much more delayed than it is in other states. The majority of my coworkers who were also laid off were living on the West Coast or in California, and everybody started getting unemployment within at least a week or two. For me and another one of my coworkers, we literally did not get a single dollar of unemployment money for over a month. So technically, New York State should owe us over $2,000 each. Obviously, we're never going to be seeing that money. The actual sign-up process for unemployment was so difficult. I had to have somebody else help me. My lovely coworker literally helped me so much getting through all of that because I had no idea what I was doing. It is so not user-friendly. Not to be rude, but I feel like I'm a lot more educated than a lot of people, and I'm very techie, and I cannot imagine having to go through that process and figure that out when you
are maybe not as educated and like don't know how to do stuff like that. Like it's difficult and it's a huge barrier to entry. Obviously they don't really want to give the money away to people, but it's really not cool. And then the absolute worst part of the entire experience, there is no one that you can call at their office. I called over 15 different times. That's honestly probably 20 to 30 different times, different offices, different phone numbers. Nobody picks up and they never will. It's like there's no one that actually works at the office. It's such a mystery to me and there's no one that can help you. So it was literally like one of the worst experiences and most stressful times ever. You're already unemployed, like you've just gotten laid off, you're stressed about not having a job and then not even being able to get the unemployment money that you deserve and that your taxes pay for. Okay.
I've been unemployed for a year and I'm so tired of it. I yearn for it to be a little capitalist cog in the machine again. I just want to go into my job and make my little coffee and make money and do something. I'm so sick of this. Please, someone give me a job.
I hate when a woman posts something she got done, whether it be lips, BBL, whatever, and then here comes a man in the comments talking about something. Personally, I don't find this attractive. Who asked you?
Something I'm becoming really grateful for in this season of unemployment is having more time on my hands to do things that I wouldn't normally have time for that I really like, or trying to find new things to do that I wouldn't normally have time for. And so today I got up and decided I'm not gonna have a bad day. I did my hair for the first time in forever, which always makes me feel better. And I'm gonna go for a walk. It's beautiful outside on Long Island, so I'm gonna enjoy not sitting in an office and a desk. And I'm gonna start trying to create a better balance for myself when applying to jobs and not feeling like I need to be glued to my screen for 8 hours every day, applying to any job I find. It's not productive, it's not helpful. I'm getting really overwhelmed and stressed by it. And so I feel like I need to create a work-life balance even though I'm not working. So if you're wondering what your unemployed friends are doing, it's probably something like this. If it's not, highly would recommend. But I'm curious what other people are doing, or their hobbies or things that they found that they enjoy in this season of life that you are now dedicating time to. I think I might order some air dry clay because I'm on air dry clay TikTok and it looks fun. But yeah, what is everyone else doing?